that's why it's hardly ever depicted in movies, and when it is, it's just substandard because how it's so ethereal, so otherworldly. And now you're coming out with a movie on the resurrection. Tell me what you can tell me. Come on. I know they've sworn you to some sort of secrecy, but you got to give me something. I need to know something.
This is how much I can tell you. This effort is overwhelming and mind-blowing. The story of the resurrection is mind-blowing. It blew the minds of the disciples. The people that followed Jesus, even though Jesus had told them multiple times that this was going to happen, they didn't expect it, believe it. They couldn't get their minds around it when it happened. And this is being approached with the sense of how mysterious and inexpressible this thing is. When Mel and I first talked about it, I have been obsessed with studying the resurrection since my youngest days, because I knew it was the central mystery of Christianity. I brought it up to Mel. We were on a trip promoting Hacksaw Ridge, which was a movie I worked on. I didn't get credited.
You did
with that.
Hacksaw Ridge too?
Yeah,
Damn, you just did like all my favorite movies of all time? Who are you? How do I not know your name until this time? Damn, well, Hacksaw Ridge. Dude, that's an unbelievable movie.
Yeah, it's an incredible movie. And when they came to me and asked me to direct it, and at the time it was called The CO, The Conscientious Objector, and I thought The CO is a lousy title, and I changed the title to Hacksaw Ridge, and I did a rewrite. And then I got the opportunity I got the offer to direct Heaven is for Real. And I said to them, all right, I'm going to go direct Heaven is for Real because it's closer to production. I think you ought to send Hacksaw Ridge to Mel. Turned out they had sent it to Mel before they sent it to me, and Mel had said no. But they sent him my draft, and then he read it and said yes. And I didn't get credit because of the Writers Guild credit system, but I wanted to go with Mel to promote the movie because I thought it was such an important movie. And we were on that trip having dinner together, just the two of us. And I said, we really need to do the resurrection. And I'm certain he must have thought of it many times before, but he looked at me like it's impossible to do. And I said, look, we've only told part of the story. And the disciples, when Jesus was crucified, they thought the story was over. In fact, I want to try a thought out on you, Brian, and tell me whether you think this is accurate. That Jesus Christ was crucified. Nobody credible disputes that.
Yes.
But we would have never heard his name or one single thing he said had it not been for the resurrection. If there hadn't been the resurrection, whatever we think that is,
right.
Because they saw him, but at first they didn't recognize him. Then they did, but they touched him. He cooked. He built a fire. He ate with them. They said he was real. Even St. Paul, who didn't know him in life, but encountered the resurrected Jesus. Like, Jesus is physically resurrected. It is the most mind-blowing mystery. Yes. Like N.T. Wright says, if you don't think the story is preposterous, you're missing the point. The point is that everything you think you've got all figured out, you don't have figured out. Well, I figure that is one of the evidences of the reality of the resurrection, is that the story of Jesus would have vanished. It would have just been, we thought he was going to do these great things.
Yep.
He's dead. It's over. Wait, it's not over. And you can kill us, but you can't make us say it's not true. And there we have Christianity. So the biggest thing I can tell you is that Mel is, and I can speak for myself, I am, in whatever our parts are of this, is approaching it with the greatest amount of reverence.
I remember watching one of those enlightened PBS documentaries. PBS would always bring out some faith-oriented special around Easter time. And they invariably were always basically why you can't trust the New Testament, or why Christianity is the same as everything. It's like you're leveraging the Easter holiday, and you're using it to make people doubt their faith, because they always have these very quote unquote enlightened and educated PhDs on. And I remember one of them from the University of Texas. He said, "We got to remember that in the first century, miracle workers were a dime a dozen." That was his exact phrase. Miracle workers were a dime a dozen, and because I know about the resurrection, I basically screamed at the TV of, yeah, they were a dime a dozen, and no one knows any of their names either, because they did miracles. No one knows their names, but we know the name of Jesus because he actually came back from the dead, and people died willingly, set on fire by Nero to light up his garden, because they said, "No, I saw him. You can't tell me I didn't see it." And there was a groundswell of that. So, yes,
exactly.
Yeah. So, what are you filming right now? Are you writing right now, or what's going on?
So, working through the script. So, the Mel look. I view Mel as a genius. I mean, he'll have ideas that no one else would have, and I wrote the initial drafts, and I really stay close to the New Testament because of what you mentioned about the Passion. The first time I saw the Passion, and he showed me an early screening in his office, and I knew that you only have 2 hours to tell the story he wanted to tell, and he wanted to emphasize the actual pain, the grit, the reality of it, instead of the sort of saccharine sweetness of a Renaissance painting of the resurrection,
Yes.
like a pretty picture.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to regain its reality, and I saw that, and I saw the power of that. And I was also longing I want to know why he came to the cross, and I want to know what happened afterwards. So my initial take was, like The Godfather, Godfather 2, let's go backwards and forwards. Let's go back to when the disciples first met Jesus with John the Baptist, and let's go from the moment when Peter has denied that he even knows who Jesus is.
Wow.
And let's go there. And then Mel had a really brilliant idea, and this won't tell you anything, but it will tell you a lot in a certain way, that there's a lot going on in the spiritual realm. And this is, we have to imagine, but like all great art, when someone imagines, okay, what was the encounter of people who were long dead when Jesus was crucified, but the dead knew that something cataclysmic had just happened.
Come on. Come on. Are you freaking kidding me?
So
Wow.
take this as a teaser. When this
I'm
comes,
teased. Get me some paper towels. I'm too teased right now. Oh my gosh.
so
Jeez, oh man.
So, and just the biggest thing I want to emphasize for all the things about everybody involved in this movie is that it's a spiritual thing. That one of the first things Mel said to me when we were discussing this is, we have to take care of our own souls. We can't be doing any of this for money. We can't do any of this for anything other than to be telling the truth. And that's somebody that, like when you talk about who do you want to stand shoulder to shoulder with, he's not perfect, I'm not perfect, none of us are perfect. That should not stop us from stepping forward and saying, here we are, send me.
That is so inspiring. I can't wait to see. Is there a time frame and when it's filmed and when it's coming out? Any basic intel like that?
No filming has begun. Rumors have flown around because everyone is so eager to see it that when they'll hear Mel Gibson is filming, they hear that and they go, "Oh, he's filming The Resurrection," and then my phone will blow up and I'll be getting texts from all over the world. People going, "It's happening! It's happening! What's going on?" No, Mel is
The
filming.
resurrection is happening. The resurrection is happening. Resurrection of the dead's happening.
But it is in the hands of God, and it's making its progress. I can't give a date for when we'll be ready to start, but I'm as excited as you are. I really want to see this.
Randy, is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't asked you about?